Howdy, 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 beautiful. How are you doing? My name is SimplyVelca, and in today's tarot reading, we are going to be getting into some emotional tarot. This reading is going to be standing out from a lot of videos that you see because I'm going to be removing the fluff. This reading is intended to be reaching those that need some type of emotional release when it comes to some relationship in their life, whether it's romantic, platonic, work, family. This is a safe space to just let out your emotions. I'm here to tap into tarot, see what insights your ancestors, your spirit guides, see what we need to, what messages need to be brought forward to the light, all right? It's perfectly normal if you need to have a release of emotion, darling. Don't keep it pent up. I'm not going to be here to sugarcoat things. I'm going to be giving you the honest truth, darling, as what a dear friend should be giving you, all right? So let's get into this tarot reading today. Let's see what's going on with my peeps right now. With you right now, you're in the Seven of Cups energy. So right now, you aren't really quite sure how to handle this connection with this person. You're in this place of really trying to make sense of things, I feel. You're trying to make sense of their emotions. And, you know, maybe for some of you guys, it feels like some type of ultimatum was thrown at you, where it was either through their actions or lack thereof, or through their words or lack thereof words, right? There's something that this other individual did to you that has kind of put you in this place of realizing that you have to shift your perspective, realizing that you have to your path is kind of forcing you to have to make a decision with this. Do you choose to stay? Do you choose to talk about it? Do you choose to go? Do you choose to delve deeper into this connection? Do you choose to, you know, so many choices, right? And for some of you guys, it feels like you're fighting this. For some of y'all, it's almost as if you guys are at this point of where you acknowledge you have to make a choice, but the issue is like you having to acknowledge this also means that what the situation between you and this person, you have to acknowledge what has happened. You have to take it for what it is rather than continuing to wear red colored sunglasses to ignore the red flags, right? So let's see what's going on with them. We have the Queen of Cups coming in here. So it's almost in this situation where I can see this in two ways, where this person is obsessing over something in their life that is seemingly taking priority over you. You may be feeling as if from this person that you are not on their top 5 priority list or even top 10, right? It's almost as if through their actions or lack thereof, you're kind of realizing where you rank on their totem pole. And it's almost as if some of you guys are struggling with this concept that this person may not be giving you the emotions and the love that you are giving to them, right? And so you're at this place of being like, well, what do I actually truly mean to you? Am I just being in denial, or what's up, right? Or I could be seeing this in a situation where there's some of them are giving attention to somebody else, right? Queen of Cups is an energy where they can kind of be a little bit intimate or flirtatious with other people, or just giving their emotions to other people, where you're seeing how this individual is acting towards their friends or what have you, other people in y'all's environment. It's not in the same, they're acting in a different way compared to how they act and treat you. And it's one of those things where I feel as if you guys have tried to ignore it. Some of you have been consistently telling yourself in your head that it's just in your head when it comes to this connection. And then the Knight of Cups coming in here, it definitely is giving me a lot of cups, very emotional, right? All the emotions coming in here. And so it's almost as if this person has been giving eyes to, or giving attention to some other individual or individuals, almost as if almost like a jealousy, almost from your side to how they're treating this outside energy that's not between y'all two, or resentment if it's about them giving energy to more so prioritizing their job or their passions or what have you, right? So let's continue on with this. What are their intentions towards you? What are their feelings towards you, right? I feel like that'll help clear up a lot of things if we can get an understanding of their emotions right now. So Ace of Pentacles here. So right off the bat, they do associate some sense of stability with you. There is this desire to be around you, almost as if they are able to acknowledge that you are all that in a can of biscuits, right? They are able to acknowledge the value that you provide to them, the stability that you provide to them. And I think that's what has them keeping you around, but not really fully committing to you. It's almost as if they're taking you for granted, but still are able to reap the benefits of being that stable source of energy whenever they are craving that, right? Because for them to be associating that Ace of Pentacles with you, it kind of showcases in this Knight of Cups that this Knight of Cups isn't really providing what you provide. Almost gives me a sense of where with this Queen of Cups individual, genders obviously don't matter. This person kind of just likes attention, if I'm going to be honest here. They like attention, and they definitely like the attention and what it is that you are able to provide to them, right? So how do they feel about this person? How do they feel about this other energy here, this Knight of Cups? What's going on here? You have the Temperance card coming in here. So I wouldn't be surprised. Does this person already know them? Rather have history with them? Ten of Swords. All right, so this person's kind of stuck on this old energy here. Definitely history, right? With this Ten of Swords, definitely a history here with this Knight of Cups, with this other individual. So that's kind of the problem here. It's where it's like, even though they're able to associate a lot of happiness with you, stability and all of that, you know, they have history here. You know, they're not fully over this X energy. When I say X energy, you know, you have X friends, ex co-workers, ex relationships, right? It's just some type of energy from the past, right? Ten of Swords tends representing closures to cycles. So it's almost as if like they have this pain associated with this person. So clearly, you know, this is not a situation that is meant for forever, but it's almost as if like they're not ready to quite let go. You know, there's still some unresolved feelings that I feel that they're trying to balance out with that Temperance card. They have mixed feelings, you know. That's why the Temperance card is usually showcased with the either balancing of cups, or in this case, in this artwork with the Light Seers Tarot, the yin and yang, the sun and the moon. So they have a lot of unresolved feelings, and I feel as if until they resolve those feelings, you're still forever going to, not forever, but you're going to be remaining in this place of kind of like limbo, if I'm going to be honest, right? That's the whole purpose of this type of tarot reading, is being completely honest. It feels as if until they resolve these emotions, until they figure things out with this Knight of Cups, you know, there's going to be this consistent back and forth with them until they get things settled. But you can take note in the fact that they are associating them still with pain, right? While they associate you with the Ace of Pentacles, that stability, that thing in the long run they can acknowledge as something that they want in their life for the long term. Over here, you know, they acknowledge that this is really an energy that you know, with this Temperance card here, they're very much so trying to be hopeful and hoping that this individual will change. But because of this Ten of Swords here as well, they also acknowledge that it's probably not going to be lasting much longer, that this isn't a connection that's going to be good for them, right? Let's do one more card for that. Knight of Pentacles coming in here as well. So Cups and Pentacles, honey, is the name of the game between y'all two. So I do definitely feel as if they're slowly making their way towards you, right? You have to keep in mind, right? It's easy for us from our perspectives to always just be like, well, you know, they hurt you, just move on. You know, we are able to understand the catch that we are, right? And so from our perspective, it should be easy choice. But because, you know, I can see the positive in this energy here, where it's like, well, yes, they're stuck on this energy because of unresolved feelings. It shows that it's not a sense of where they're afraid of commitments or anything like that. It's a situation of where it's like, when they care about an individual, I feel it's very hard for them to be letting go of it after the fact. And so I do see progression towards you, right? Knight of Pentacles coming in between you two, but admittedly, it's going to be a little bit slower paced, right? So at the end of the day, free will and all that, darling, right? You have to ask yourself, is this energy worth waiting for? Right? Are you choosing to put your life on pause for this Queen of Cups energy over here until they figure some stuff out over here, right? With this other energy here. You know, is this baggage too much? Right, so let's see how things are going to be turning out between them and this other individual, right, that we're tapping into. What's going to be happening between the two of them? We have the Star card. This was inverted, with the Chariot card as well as being inverted. And then we have the Magician card in the upright. All three major arcanas, y'all. So definitely I'm seeing this in a situation of where it's almost as if they're destined, this energy over here with that Knight of Cups, they're almost destined to have a big old fight, honey. Three major arcanas coming in together like this, that is a sign in of itself, just a normal in tarot vocabulary, right? Big transitions. And so with that Star card in the reverse, with that Chariot, think of this both being in the reverse. Think of the Chariot in the reverse. You know, you associate the Chariot energy as fast forward movement, and so when it's inverted like this, it's kind of like pulling a halt to it, and almost even like pulling back more rather than accelerating forward. Whereas with the Star card, this is like the type of what it is that you would be wishing for, right? When you wish upon a star, darling. And so when that's inverted, it's giving me a scenario of where something happens, Magician energy here, someone plays ball, right? Where they kind of do some type of action. I'm willing to suspect that it's this other person that makes this Queen of Cups wake up to the fact of being like, oh, you're not my everything. You're not what it is that I actually want in this world. They realize that they're not going to change. They realize that this energy is kind of done and over with. And so then that's when they start regressing away from this, right? And they're taking action to do this. It's not as if this Knight of Cups energy here denies them and says, being like, oh no, you need to move on, what have you, right? They're making the choice in doing this, right? The Magician card is very controlling energy, where it's like they call the shots for their reality, for their life. And so they are definitely going to be pushed to a point with this energy where they realize that this energy just ain't worth it, right? So I do definitely see this progression happening in between the two of them, right? So hopefully that gives some comfort in the sense that if for those that do choose to sit there and wait for this energy and be patient with them to get their closure, which is definitely going to be happening, that it's not going to be part of the storyline for much longer, or for forever. There we go. So what's going to be happening between the two of you guys? How is this going to be playing out between the two of you? We have the King of Wands stepping forward with the Two of Swords. And then we have the Four of Swords. So I do see you being approached by them, right? I do see you being approached. Admittedly, I do see the scenario where it's like you start kind of doing your own thing for a while because you get tired of waiting, and so they slowly start approaching you as that lion, right? You see them in the back, so like looking off and looking at you from the distance, waiting to approach you. Two of Swords presents this sense of when they do approach you, it kind of gives you that sense of being like, all right, like, do I choose to commit to this? Do I choose to open up to this, right? Or do I choose to move on, right? We start your reading with the Seven of Cups, where you're left with choices, and then you continue being left with a bunch of choices. But you can take, I like this for you guys though, just because it's like you guys still remain in the power position during all of this, right? You guys remain to be in the power position. Four of Swords here does let me know that there is a sense of healing here, but again, free will and all that, darling. So I can't promise you that, you know what it is that you'll be able to handle most, right? That's kind of what tarot's for. It's where it's like it just taps into a certain direction and energy. I do feel for most of you guys, you will end up being together. King of Pentacles, you will end up being together here, end up building something pretty fabulous between the two of you guys, right? I do see that potential, but at the end of the day, it's almost as if I am sensing almost 10 of Pentacles as well. Yeah, you know what? I'm not even going to be talking about what I was sensing here. This confirms it. I can just talk about the tarot portion. 10 of Pentacles here. It's that family life, right? And that's why you see in the artwork of it, just like a whole family going on there. And like you see the dog, kids, and all of that, right? It's that nice stability. Kind of has been that running theme, right? With that Ace of Pentacles that they associate you with. Then we get that King of Pentacles and 10 of Pentacles, right? This is very stable energy. This is an energy between the two of you guys when you guys are together, and this both of you guys are available emotionally as well as physically. There's while in other readings, right, you might hear like all about like the sparks flying and passion and all of that, but in this reading here, this is just talking about nice stability. This is just talking about an energy where it's just like you're feeling extremely secure. I wouldn't be surprised as well if one of you, if not both of you, end up doing, if you're not already well off, because I am seeing this consistent theme where it's like with that stable energy as well as all these pentacle cards and kings cards as well, there is some type of success dynamic between the two of you guys to bring forth that stability. So if it's not the case right now, I do see sometime in the near future with the two of you guys that there's success associated with the two of you guys. This is giving me very much so a power couple dynamic, right? Think about it in a sense of like only way I can put it, and it's just because of my own pop culture obsession, is like Beyonce and Jay-Z, right? Where it's like many people always say, it's like, well, why is Beyonce with Jay-Z? Beyonce could have any man in the world. Why does she choose Jay-Z? Whereas Jay-Z is allegedly, darling, that stable source, right? That stable energy to come home to when he isn't cheating, honey. But it's giving me that type of dynamic without the cheating, darling, right? Without the Lemonade album exposing it all. I just see just a lot of consistency between the two of you. I see not really a guessing game. I feel like that's the thing. There's not really a sense of unsettled emotions here after the fact. Once this is taken care of, right? Once this spread is taken care of, once this outside X energy here, that Knight of Cups that we talked about here, is handled, they're completely out of the picture, darling. They don't exist anymore. They're out of the frame, honey. Now they are. They're completely out of the frame, and then their whole focus is just between you two, right? It's just between you two. So how do you feel about this energy here? How do you feel about them? We have the Ace of Swords stepping forward with the Hanged Man, as well as the Emperor in the reverse. So I do see this sense of where your views start changing of this person, and this Emperor card in the reverse kind of gives me a sense of where you have a lot more of a grounded perspective of this individual. And I feel like that is what's going to be the most helpful for you to approach this energy, into how to start viewing this energy, is ground this other person in your own mind. I feel like some of you guys really hype this energy up, hype this individual up. You really gas them up into being like this grandiose individual, which I'm not saying they aren't, right? But it's almost as if like something switches with you, where you eventually just realize, being like, oh, wait a minute, they're just as human as I am, right? They have the same type of insecurities I do. They have the same, maybe not the same, but they have mental issues just like I do, physical insecurities just like I do, right? They're not perfect, right? But it's almost like with this realization of realizing that they're not perfect, and that they, the rose-colored glasses kind of fade away with this, no longer just hyping them up, gassing them up so much internally. It just allows you to come at this energy with a much more level-headed approach. And that's just kind of where the whole dynamic shifts between the two of you. Because here's the thing I was kind of noticing here with all that king energy is that both sides of you guys are very bossed energies here. And I was kind of getting this sense that you may not be seeing yourself at the same level as they are, or it's like you just view them as like a really strong catch and you don't see yourself as a catch as well. So that's the advice I feel like I need to be giving you guys, is that regardless, before you even start connecting with this person again or what have you, ground your perception of this person. Or at the very least, if you're going to gas them up, you need to match that gassing up ×2 with yourself and celebrating yourself. And that's going to help allow you to make a decision in the midst of all this indecisive energy that we picked up on, right? With that 2 of Swords, as well as that 7 of Pentacles, or 7 of Cups, that we pulled for you right at the beginning, right? I feel like that would resolve a lot of your indecisions, and having you, 8 of Swords in the back with the deck of the energy here. There's definitely like what you see in the mirror isn't a true reflection on who and what you actually are. Right? Body dysmorphia is the first thing that keeps on coming to my mind, but I think that's just because of my own mental relating that to this, where it's just like when you have body dysmorphia, what you see in the mirror isn't actually a reality, and it's always just a skewed version of yourself, where you think of yourself as a lot more unattractive than you actually are, right? And so I kind of feel like that's the issue with you. So how is this relationship going to play out? Should you give this a chance? Y'all just watch this card come out. 4 of Wands, card of marriage, right? For those that this is a romantic relationship, definitely a card of marriage. And that's why I was sensing it makes sense. That's why you have that 10 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, like so much stability here. And that's probably explaining, you sense it probably already, and that's why you probably have been clinging on to this for a lot longer than you normally would with an energy. If it's not romantic, this is just definitely something that would be a lot more prosperous for you, getting you to where you have been wanting to go. 5 of Wands and Page of Wands. Okay, so this is kind of inevitable for you in this connection here to kind of go through this misunderstanding, this mishap, right? This obstacle. That's why that 5 of Wands is there, where it is that card of, it's admittedly the card I associate it as the card of drama, or inconveniences, darling. And so I feel like that's kind of what it was to be expected. If it didn't happen now, it was going to happen sometime in the future. But the beautiful thing about this is, with this Page of Wands here, this lets you know that there's a lot of hope, that there's a chance for this, right? If both sides are willing to give this a chance, more so on your side than the other side, right? Because once they get their closure with that other situation that we talked about with that Knight of Cups, as I said before, they're out of the frame, they're out of the picture. But just because they're out of the picture from their perspective, it doesn't somehow change like where you're at mentally and emotionally with the whole thing, right? but I do see it kind of destined for you guys. It was destined for you guys to have this type of conflict, and it's smack dab in the middle of the energy. But as I said beforehand, once you figure that initial, like, this conflict out, I mean, obviously I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh, your relationship's not going to ever have any other issues for the rest of the time, because that's just not realistic, right? Friendships, you're bound to have arguments, relationships, arguments and fights and misunderstandings and all of that. But I feel as if you guys can really start off on a completely clean slate, have it be a lot very exciting. I wouldn't be surprised if the two of you end up moving pretty quickly together, because I got the reference of like one, or if not both of you guys moving. Maybe there's some long distance there, that's why I'm sensing like movement, and like someone like moving in with another one, or just changing areas of living. So maybe that's part of the issue as well, as where there's like long distance. That's kind of what I'm sensing for a lot of you guys. But yeah, I believe that's all I have when it comes to this tarot reading today. Let me know if this reading was helpful to you at all. I hope that this tarot reading reached those that it needed to reach, and I hope that you got the emotional release that you needed to have when receiving this tarot reading today. I do weekly zodiac general readings, so be sure to check out your sun, moon, and rising every single week if you want to connect with me more. My website's linked down below if you want to book a private personal reading with me, SimplyVelca.com. Next to my social medias, Instagram and TikTok, also just being SimplyVelca. But yeah, I love you guys so much, and hopefully I can connect with you sometime in the near future. Bye.